Hi, it's Bunny, and I just wanted to come on here to touch on struggles and criticisms that brown and dark-skinned exoticals go through. I've felt that I wanted to make this video for a while, but after watching Kia Roane's video and being inspired by Exotical Sauce and Exotical Epiphany, I feel that this is the best time to speak up. But before I get into my thoughts and opinions, I'd like to define what a brown and dark-skin exotical is. What is a brown or dark-skin exotical? In my personal opinion, a brown or dark-skin exotical is someone who is not undeniably light-skinned and has features that result in questions about their race. Getting into the specifics, if you have a type 1 to 3C or a 3C4A mixture hair texture, you are an exotical. If you have a button nose, skinny nose, or a nose that is uncommon in your race, you are an exotical. If you have light brown eyes, green eyes, blue eyes, or small eyes that get you mistaken for being Asian, you are an exotical. And of course, if you have a non-black parent or grandparent, you are an exotical. Some common things you will be asked or told as a browner-skinned exotical are questions if you are mixed, if one of your parents are non-black, how you get your hair curly, if your eyes are real, if you are part Asian, Latina, or Native American, Blasians, Afro-Latinas, Black natives, or monoracial women who have features often seen in mixed people would be considered exotical to me. I want to make it clear this is not a bashing video, but an honest critique of Kia's video. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge that trolling and bullying by lighter skin and mixed women towards dark-skinned women and exoticals does happen, and it is completely understandable to be frustrated, upset, and angry. Those are all valid emotions and emotions that I have also felt when faced with colorists or people who don't acknowledge and make fun of your ambiguity and racial background. And I'd also like to acknowledge how these experiences of invalidating your identity can be very frequent for brown and dark-skin exoticals, and can often lead to us feeling like we have to defend our identity and almost convince other people of our exoticism. It can be very isolating, especially if you are in majority black spaces, where you're forced to prove your blackness and downplay any exoticism you possess. It can feel like people go out of their way to humble you, because they want to remind you despite benefiting from something like texturism, you're still not light-skinned, and you're not one of the light skins that they pedestalize. You might then seek out spaces that cater to exotic women, and then still feel out of place, because you don't fit the stereotype of light skin, light eyes, and curly hair. Now on to my thoughts about the video. To me, the critique of the exotical space being messy is a lackluster critique. Every space possible is going to have messy people. You could be the cleanest person in the room, but messy people still exist in that room with you, because we all have free will and free speech. Regarding her point about us being faceless and our experiences, and what we look like not being verifiable, to me it sounds like we're being called liars again, like the whole bleachotical situation. I and many other women do not have to lie about we experience, or have experienced, nor do we need to show our faces to be valid in our commentary regarding situations and people we've experienced, as well as communities a lot of us grew up in and around. There is no real gain, if not any, by speaking about problems with the unambiguous black community, pretty privilege, and liking being exotic. I would argue it's quite the opposite, since any criticism of the black community, or saying you like being mixed, gets you canceled pretty fast. Exotical creators get threatened from making content. It's really not socially lucrative. And I'm curious on when these concerns about us being faceless arose. Moving on to her point about colorist light-skinned women in this space. I don't doubt there are colorist women who are or were in this space, because again there are messy people in every room, and colorists definitely exist. But it's hurtful to the space you went out of your way to align with, and the women in this space, when you make a broad statement about there being colorist light-skinned women, and not naming the colorist women. It's even more hurtful that you would go out of your way to say something to the effect of you're not pretty, you're just light-skinned. MLS women are already stereotyped as being colorist just for existing, and have to deal with similar humbling tactics that us browner-skinned exoticals deal with. MLS women are not the enemy for having privilege, and I feel the video was a way to get back at a space or people that she may have felt rejected by. Then she spoke about how you have to be pretty to be exotic, and that's false. Exotic just means different. It isn't necessarily about being pretty. and the fact that Kia, Chrissy, and other people who've told us we're mid, and therefore not exotic, just means we're still being put on a pedestal by wanting to see our faces, and basically virtually sizing us up. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please comment, like and subscribe to see more from me.